Welcome back to Itchy Tasty Podcast, the podcast for all of your dreams of itchy and tasty. We are back after our long break of being long, and today we're talking about Resident Evil Village, my new favorite Resident Evil.
It's new, it's
And
hot.
It's almost as hot as some of the characters in the game.
Correct. I've seen the art. Your voice sounds deeper.
Mhm.
Did you go through puberty since our last episode?
Well, yes, I did.
Okay, good.
It's also the sunglasses that Heisenberg gave me.
Oh, you're
And
wearing
we
Heisen
have
glasses.
yes, we have a enjoyer of Heisenberg, not with us, but with us in heart and spirit, as he is not able to join us today. And his name is Crypthaniel.
Cryptid. Yeah.
And I'm sorry that he's not with us today, and I don't think he will ever be with us. May he rest in peace.
Just to confirm, Crypt is not dead, I don't think. Maybe he was always dead. But anyway, he was very kind to do the Resident Evil 3 episode with us, but he's not available to do it today. Also, we kind of did this at the extreme last minute, as we often do.
I mean, like, the only episode we actually kind of, like, orchestrated was the first one.
I had so many pages of notes on that.
Yeah, but, like, I haven't written notes for, like, I think any of the episodes except Silent Hill.
You need to not tell me that. Do you know how many
okay.
notes I've got? Do you know how many notes I've got for this episode?
Oh, really? How many?
Almost 6 lines of notes. We don't need notes for this one. It came out like a week ago.
Yeah. When did it come out?
No, it didn't come out a week ago. It came out in end of May, I think.
No,
it is the end of May, right? Yeah, it came out today.
It's literally the 31st, if you will.
Is it end of April?
But it came out. No.
What
it
am I
came
saying?
out, I think, May 9th. So that's just a few weeks.
I consider that the end of April. So, Resident Evil Village. Let's just jump right in. What did you think? Why didn't you like it? Because you reacted quite negatively to this game, didn't you?
When it came out, I was like, oh, goddamn, this game is the worst game I have ever played. I have cried millions of tears.
I remember you saying
tears that I've cried. I don't know words, man. But, so I actually really enjoyed Village, surprisingly. I thought it was going to be, like, a good game, but not, like, the level of game that everyone was saying, you know?
Well, wasn't there a thing in the fan community where it's like every other Resident Evil game is good, like the Star Trek movies?
I'm not a fan of Star Trek, so
you
I know.
Resident Evil 4 was good, then Resident Evil 6 was good, and then
I hate you.
Yeah. I remember reading that in some forum where it's like, this one will be crap because we all know that every other one is good, but it's like that doesn't work at all. Not just for the fact that, like, that doesn't work, but also there's, like, spin-offs in between, some of which are good and some of which are terrible.
Revelations is pretty good. You know?
Revelations 1 and 2 are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's spend today just talking about them.
Okay, fuck, I dropped my sunglasses.
Shit, you lost them. Cool. So,
let me put them back on.
So I remember when Village first came out, and me and you kind of hit it hard that launch weekend, right?
I think I pulled an all-nighter to beat it.
We kind of went like radio silent. If you remember, we were basically like, let's not talk to anyone.
Yeah, I think we conversed.
Yeah, but it's so difficult to talk.
That was about it.
It's so difficult to talk with someone while you're both still playing the game, because it's like, oh, how far have you got? But then you can't really answer that question in case you're like, oh, I just got past the part where Mufasa is killed. And you're like, man, wow. I can't believe Mufasa dies.
Yeah. I think we remained pretty spoiler-free, though.
Yeah, I think we also gunned it as well, didn't we?
Yes. I think it took you, like, 9 hours to beat?
My final time was 8.5, I think. But I don't think I was rushing. I'm pretty sure I was, like, taking my time and exploring. But in terms of, like, actual consecutive days, yeah, I was rushing. I played it like solidly for about 3 days.
As I said, I pulled an all-nighter. I beat it in the course of 24 hours.
Oh yeah,
Yippee me, man.
yippee you a.
Um, it was not that. I don't know where I'm going with this, but the end result of it was not good. But that's not part of the game.
Did your
So, like,
dreams just was there a continuation of the game?
yes.
Okay, good.
I'm not gonna. We'll get into the dream part later. Totally, that happened.
You had a
But
horrible
I think,
dream that you were in Europe.
ugh,
Ugh, can you even imagine?
I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine Europe. But I think it took me 6 hours, maybe 7 hours,
Okay.
to beat my first son. And from my now experiences of playing the games multiple times, I rushed it. I didn't get a single treasure my first
Did
playthrough.
you not? Okay. I
Mainly because I didn't know how to open the map. But
You have to say on the PS5. There's a microphone in the controller. You have to just say map.
well, I wasn't playing on the PS5,
That's true.
and I think as soon as I beat Heisenberg's segment, I was just like messing around with my keyboard, and I pressed M, and I was like, Jesus Christ, there's
Jesus.
a map.
Wow, that must have been
And
so difficult to navigate that village without a map.
yes, it was incredibly hard.
Yeah, because that village is kind of even with the map, it's not that easy to navigate because like roadways are blocked and stuff, and you have to take routes through buildings and stuff.
That I will say that was really cool.
Yeah,
But so I basically have the village memorized in my head now.
yeah, it feels like the Spencer Mansion, where it feels like I could live there now.
I totally cannot live in the Spencer Mansion though, sadly.
I'm pretty sure I could. I know where the one bathroom is.
Oh, yeah,
So
they only do one bathroom.
yeah, well, remember the original RPG had no bathrooms, so Spencer's a rich guy.
One
Um,
that, yeah, really rare.
Anyway, so on my first playthrough, I got most of the. I actually thought I'd got everything on my first playthrough. I had this kind of self-assured feeling that I've got everything. All the treasures are all crossed off. I've got everything. Turns out I'd missed three optional bosses.
Wait, I only thought there were like two.
No, there's three. There's two big axe dudes,
I
and
think I got both of those.
there's one big wolfy man.
Oh, where is he?
He's it's one of the trophies where it's like kill the something alpha,
Yeah,
and he's like in
that
the
one.
graveyard. I totally missed that.
Oh, is it where you get like Donna's treasure thing?
Yeah, it's in the cornfield area.
Oh, the corn.
But you can only do it when you're about to go to the factory,
Huh.
and yeah, you get a trophy for killing it. But I totally missed all of that. I missed both
I
optional Axie men, as they're called.
Yeah, I think I got both of the Axie men.
Yeah, those guys are
Uh,
tough as well.
uh, not
Yeah,
to toot my own horn, but I died 3 times on the one in the mill,
that is
I think.
braggable.
And then on the one with Donna's gravestone, I didn't die, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
But that was like my second playthrough.
I missed that one because this is totally relevant. Nobody has any idea what we're talking about, but I missed that one because you're supposed to put a broken slab on her
Mhm.
grave. I got the broken slab, but I just assumed in Resident Evil knowledge that I would at some point find another half of that broken slab and I'd have to combine them.
You know what? Yeah, that makes sense.
So I just kind of kept searching and just figured I'd come back to that grave when I find the other one. No, turns out the other one is already on the grave. You just got to fill in the hole. Anyway, let's quickly sum up what the hell's going on in this game. Do you wanna sum it up? What's who are we? What's happening?
Well, so wait, do I have to explain RE7 as well?
No.
All right. So a random guy that has a weird thing going on with Louisiana, a strange relationship with Louisiana, and like it's kind of weird because he got infected with a virus in Louisiana. No relevance to the story at all.
So
And his wife that
you're
was
saying
in Louisiana for a few years was like, ho ho ho, I'm back from Louisiana. And then
where's Resident Evil 7 set?
I don't know.
Somewhere in the deep south.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
Maybe Texas.
Ah,
I'm a Texan myself,
the lone
so.
mold state. Thank you.
But so Mia's all like, "Oh, I'm back from Louisiana. Ethan, let's get a child and move to Europe because Louisiana." And then they move to Europe, but like somehow there's like some weird thing from Louisiana, right? And that weird thing from Louisiana does something with the daughter, I think. I don't know. And
Important.
like,
It's not from Louisiana. It
yeah, it's
was. It
not
was.
from.
It was briefly
It's
in
real.
Louisiana.
Yeah, it's related to Louisiana.
All right.
But and then you have this guy that appeared in the end of Louisiana and also like in I think a lot of Resident Evil games. I don't really know. I
I
only
never heard of
played
him.
Louisiana and Village.
You're talking about Louis
Um
Sarah. Yeah, I know him.
yeah, Luis Serra or his weird not cool name, Chris Boulderfield.
Chris Boulderfield. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So Chris Boulderfield's like, "Ah ha ha, Ethan, I'm gonna kill your wife and take your child because my name's Stocks." And then Ethan's all like, "Oh no!" And then Chris Boulderfield's like, "Ha, I'm gonna take you too, bitch." And then they take him, and then like boom boom, car go off, and like Ethan's all alone in the snow, and his daughter's gone, and like the whole like thing that kidnapped him was all dead and stuff. And then he has to like get a phone call, and then he goes to a village, and then there's like this weird wolf thing that's called a lichen, and he fights the thingy thing with a gun that this old man gave him that had a shotgun, but you don't get the shotgun until later on in the game.
This is great
Want
content.
you want to carry on because I haven't been breathing for the last minute or so.
Oh, so I'm just going to try and get my head around this confusing explanation you've just explained. Um, but the main thing that you did mention that I want to bring up is the Chris shoots Mia in the intro because that was like the main marketing sting, wasn't it?
Oh, that and Big Titty
Oh yeah,
Girl.
we'll get to her. People already know about her.
Yeah,
Um,
too much.
but yeah, in I remember one of the first trailers ended with Chris Redfield, the big action hero, turning up and shooting Mia, the main character's wife. Kind of cold blood, not kind of cold blood, super cold blood.
Like, I'm sorry, Ethan, and
Yeah,
then
and then
shoots
boom, boom,
him
boom.
5 times. Shoots her 5 times.
And everyone was like, "Whoa, Optimus Prime's turned bad. What's that about? Why is he fighting Bumblebee?" And and there was lots of theories of like, maybe he's turned, maybe he's a man on the edge, maybe he's secretly a villain or something.
Yeah, maybe
Uh,
he ran out of boulders to punch.
Maybe he ran out of boulders and now he's just shooting women. And
That sounds like my retirement plan.
yeah, okay, good. This will be used in court.
Okay, cut that out. Cut
This is
that out.
no, that's raw.
Okay, fuck.
Yeah, and then Ethan, who is our plucky hero from Resident Evil 7.
Louisiana.
Interesting question right now before you carry on. What is Ethan's job?
He is an engineer.
Need more specifics. He's not
An
gonna.
engineer
He's not
that
gonna be
works
holding a
on
crowbar.
things. He's software engineer.
He is a software engineer. Nerd
That's like the
alert.
lamest kind of engineer.
What a
I said
nerd.
lame. I just
Isaac Clarke from Dead Space. He's an engineer. Ethan
yeah,
Winters, computer nerd.
yeah, loser.
What a loser. Someone cut his leg off and stick it back on.
Yeah, that goes to Daddy Jack, who's in Louisiana, the game.
So
Yeah.
Ethan's back. He's got a new coat, and he's stuck.
Mm-hmm.
He's lost in a
It's a
spooky
snazzy
town
coat.
in. It is a really nice coat, and he's lost in a
I like
spooky
it.
village in Eastern Europe. Now it's definitely Romania because of the currency, the lei. I think it's lei, isn't it?
Yeah,
But
not
with
like
but
the Hawaiian thing.
Yeah, but they never say that it's Romania, and they never name the town either, unless they do, and I just missed it. But they definitely, I don't think they name the village, do they?
I think it's Mother Miranda's summer getaway.
Oh, that's good. But it reminds me of RE4 because they never named the village in RE4 either.
Oh, you didn't know that they named it?
No, they didn't name it
No, they did.
in RE4.
Yeah.
RE4's village does not have a name.
No, it's named Goose Village,
Goose
obviously.
Village. How did I miss that?
It's like there's a big sign that says Goose Village, obviously. I think
So
you just don't know Latin.
Latin, or all the language they speak in that village.
I don't know what they speak in that village. I'm too busy learning Latin.
Anyway, this game, we get rid of the zombies. We're done with them. It's werewolves this time, right?
Screw you, zombies. I
Zombies
got
are
my
out.
furry friends.
Werewolves are in, and the werewolves are pretty scary. The Lycans, because
I hate
they,
them.
yeah, I think they're really good villains though, because I really like the way they move. I like the way that they sometimes kind of back away from you.
I just hate them.
They sit on the roofs and watch you, and then they come at you and hit you with sticks and stuff.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, they
yeah,
they suck.
yeah. When you fight them in their little den at the end, and they're all like leaping across the walls and stuff, it's very cool. Very, very cool.
It's cool, but I hate them.
Okay, that's good to know. I'll let them know you said that.
Yeah, like
Um,
I think I could take them in a fight.
so this game has a lot of like superstitious style supernatural monsters. It's got werewolves. It's got giants, but it's also got like vampires and stuff, right? And mermen.
It has merman.
Well, it has one merman.
It's not really a merman.
Well, I think that was his
More
kind
of
of.
like a
I think that was Moreau's like design, that he's like a fish person.
well, yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't think he's a merman.
Well, either way,
There's no
the way I'm interpreting this
difference.
is we know by the end of the game that all of these supernatural things are being caused by the same mold that was the villain in Resident Evil 7, this kind of weird mold that is like sentient and can give you powers and stuff.
Hmm.
But I get the impression, I don't know if you agree with me, that the reason there's like vampires and werewolves in this is because all of the vampire and werewolf like mythology that we know around the world actually comes from this village.
Yeah.
That's the idea, right? The reason we have vampire stories is because someone obviously visited this village and saw scary vampire women and then wrote stories about them.
Right. Well, like the story is dated back to like long, long time ago, and the thing is about that is the game the spooky monsters I think started when the Spanish flu happened,
Yeah,
which
which
was in
was
1918, I believe. The 1918
I have no idea.
Spanish flu. Right?
I have no idea.
But so that means that I think like modern inspired Hollywood films depictions of it could happen from this area,
Yeah.
but I don't think um like actual folktale. So
So you're wrong, is what we've agreed on. That's good.
that you're wrong. Yes.
We've also got a bunch of returning actors, haven't we? There's loads of people in this that are in previous games.
I don't know any of their names.
Let's go for it. Who's in this?
Um Nicole Thompson,
Who's that?
Lady Demetrius.
Is she in a previous Resident Evil game?
I think so.
I don't know about her. She might be. Oh, did you see the mocap of her where she's got a mocap hat? So cool.
Yeah, I did. She's
So
cool.
cool. Very cool. No, the ones that I know is Chris Redfield, and this is, I believe, voiced by the guy that voiced Carlos in.
Wait, really?
I believe so. No, I might need to Google that, but I'm pretty sure they're the same guy.
Oh, that's
Um,
sick.
both
I
characters begin
love
with a
them.
C, so that's why I've made that assumption. But I'm also pretty sure it's the
Hmm.
same guy. Um,
Yeah,
we've
I like
got
the first part.
we've got a few
Uh,
people
n-
from the Resident Evil 3 remake, actually. Three
yeah,
people.
Nikolai.
Nikolai's
Nikolai's
back,
voice actor
and
is Heisenberg, which a lot of people seem to be simping for after the game.
he's a very popular character. And it's weird that
Yeah,
that
now.
actor is super British, and he's played in Resident Evil a Russian guy and an American guy. Just let him be British.
Well, he's not. Heisenberg's not American.
Well, he's got kind of an American accent though in that game.
Well, I mean, I live in America, so I think my American accent radar would be like, built in
Yeah,
to
but
me.
I've read about America though, so
Oh shit, my
shit.
bad.
Um, but yeah, we've also got Jill is back
Yeah,
from.
she's the daughter.
Well, from what I believe, she voices one of the daughters, but does the mocap for another one of the daughters. which I
Huh.
found really strange. Just let her be the same character. Why does she have to
Just
voice one and
let her
act the
be
other?
everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, there's literally those only three remake characters that come to mind.
Oh no, there is one more.
Dario.
Who's Dario?
Tell me it's Dario.
It's Dario Russo.
Yeah, it's Dario
He's
Russo
back as
playing
himself.
Ethan Winters.
Correct. It's not. No, we have a Resident
Oh,
Evil 7 alumni back. Obviously, Mia and
well,
Ethan,
Ethan
but
and yeah,
we
but
have a third. Do you remember early on in the game, Ethan is he meets a bunch of village survivors in someone's house. I think her name's Louisa.
hmm
And Louisa's son is like a bit of a jerk, and he sticks a shotgun in Elena's face, and he's like, "You can't come in." Blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
That is Lucas Baker from Resident Evil 7.
Oh, that's so cool.
There you go. They got him back.
No, that's great.
So yeah, Ethan has a bit of an adventure around this village. He's trying to find his daughter, who Chris Redfield has stolen for some reason. And in order to do so, he has to defeat 4 bosses. This is kind of like the Zelda of Resident Evil games, isn't it?
You know what? Why are you right? I really don't want you to be right, but you're right.
It's like you've got to defeat 4 bosses and collect their 4 magical amulets, or in this one,
Okay,
their little coffee thermoses.
but the thing is that usually Zelda games have like two parts to it, like the first part and where you get like your Master Sword stuff, and then like when the game really gets out going,
Oh, you're saying so
you're,
when you defeat the 4 lords, you think that's the end, and then it'll be like, oh no, everything's gone wrong. Now you've got to collect 6 magical amulets.
no, I'm saying the Four Lords part is the major part. I'm
Okay,
using Ocarina of Time as a basis here because that's like the most famous Zelda game, I feel.
but that game also does that. You know, where you collect
It does.
the three amulets, and then it's like, oh, everything's gone to shit again. Go and collect 6 amulets now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But so here's my theory because I'm obviously the better Zelda fan
go
here.
on.
All right. So you remember the first 4 masks you find in Lady Demetress'
Yes.
castle? Those are like the first part, and then you get released because you get like the Duke main thing where you can buy stuff.
Yeah.
That's like the more I'm not really open world part, but like that's more of the adventure part. Or you can just
Okay.
say it's like Majora's Mask where there's only 4 temples. Well,
I didn't like that game. Come
you
at
didn't like
me,
Majora's Mask?
come at me, internet. I didn't like it.
That's my favorite, literally.
Okay, well that's why I don't like it.
Oh, screw
Anyway,
you.
let's go back to this game we're talking about.
That's my favorite.
So yeah, the main kind of game is that Ethan learns from the Duke, who is this game's merchant, and he even quotes the merchant, which I think everybody loves. I don't know if you've seen that on YouTube, but I've seen that come up on
I
YouTube at
I
least 2,000 times.
I've never seen it on YouTube, but I have experienced it in game, man.
Yeah, it suggests that the Duke, who is this game's weapon merchant, knows the merchant from RE4, and they just hang out or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like my old friend used to say that. So canonically, they're friends.
Yeah, canonically, my coffee shop fanfiction is now correct.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, the merchant
Are
and the
are we
Duke
just waiting for Piers to come back to fucking open a bakery?
open the
Wait, no, it's a
floor.
bed and breakfast, right?
Yeah, and someone had a flower shop. I don't remember. It was complicated. Anyway,
It was very well drawn out.
anyway, so the Duke tells Ethan to get his daughter back, he needs to collect 4 flasks. And the flasks, and this is a part I still can't quite get my head around. The flask contains, each one contains a part of his daughter. So one's got like her legs in, one's got her head, one's got her upbeat personality, and one has got her arms. Is that correct?
I I can't I don't remember the other one, so I'm going to say that is correct.
But what I'm trying to get my head around is like what's actually in these flasks. Like since Mother Miranda,
I
the
think
main villain, stole his baby, did she like dissolve the baby into the mold and then split it into 4?
I personally just thought it was like when have you ever taken apart like a doll?
Yeah,
All right, okay, I'm glad I'm not like the only one
it's
that's
the
done
only thing
that.
that makes me feel like a man.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
That's nice to know.
it is good to know.
Um, so I think it was more like, you take the legs off and you put them in a flask. Like they're just dried up baby limbs.
It can't be
That's what
that.
I imagined. That's
Because
what I
we
imagined.
see the baby at the end whole, and it just kind of comes out of the mold.
So
So
I'm thinking like you just put it in there, and then it's like, ooh, I'm gonna glue that back together. I'm gonna glue that back together. That's what I was thinking.
that makes a lot less sense. So
You know,
just to
like
give
it's
it, so
the
this
baby,
is.
like the mold fuses the baby together. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. I mean, this podcast is going to be spoilerific. We're not doing this in any sort of order. We're talking about this assuming you've already played the game. But
Yeah, that's how we
the
roll, baby.
but the main thing that's going down is Mother Miranda is trying to bring her dead baby back to life, right? A
Shucks.
she needs a baby that's real good with mold to put into the magic mold that's growing beneath this village and revive her daughter. Because isn't it that the mold like maintains the consciousness of everyone that's died near it?
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah, well, that's why Mother Miranda is like super intelligent, because she's basically got the memories of everyone that's died uh,
Hmm.
near the mold. Um, and the kind of consciousness of her daughter is saved in a zip file inside the mold somewhere, and
That's a really good explanation.
and she needs a compatible USB baby to be able to access that file. But she can't
Why are
find
you
one.
explaining this?
She's tried to do it with four different people, right? She's tried to do it with who the characters who become the Four Lords, but they're all crap in some different way. We've got Lady D, who's just too tall and weird.
Yeah,
Um,
she's icky.
she's also like overly sexual all the time, and nobody wants that in a daughter.
I mean, not if you live in Alabama.
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 We've got Donna, the doll maker, who is just a bit weird. I think I don't want her as a daughter.
It's
Um,
fair.
she's so her deal is that she's like mentally handicapped, but she talks through the
That's
dolls she makes. Right?
mm-hmm.
That's her deal, right?
I like how you just called a mentally handicapped person
But
weird.
isn't that what it says in one of the diaries or something? I can't remember.
It's just too weird.
She's all right,
Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, like you can be mentally handicapped and not weird. I'm not saying that they're one and the same, but she is weird.
oh yeah,
She
sure.
she has a crazy bridal doll that murders people and flies around.
Yeah, I hate it.
Um, we also
Just because
have my boy Maru.
yeah,
Moreau.
he has written many fan fiction about
He's
Maru.
he's my
Morale.
favorite.
I want to say his name still.
It's Moreau.
Moreau.
Moreau,
Like
yeah.
yeah, okay.
Because
Marilyn
it's
Monroe.
referencing the island of Doctor Moreau, right? You know that. You know that book and terrible movie.
Uh, yeah.
It's a book about a crazy scientist that merges humans with animals on a weird island. There you go.
Oh, it's just your average Saturday afternoon in Texas, man.
Correct. And he himself is part gross fish man. Um, and then we've got Heisenberg, which is the internet, the one that the internet now loves, possibly as much as Lady D, or
I think
maybe
so.
they've kind of gone off Lady D now. Um,
I think we're just at the part where the internet's just like, I'm feeling gay today, and all the women that are straight are like, I'm feeling like really straight today. That's what happens.
it's good to wake up and
Yeah.
think that.
I'm feeling
That's
really straight today. I
and
have felt that once in my life.
that's good. I'm keeping that as a soundbite. So
Shut up.
yeah, and basically, as we said, like a Zelda game, Ethan has to just fight all four of those in their own separate scenarios in big, elaborate boss fights before he can go and fight Mother Miranda. That's basically the game, right?
Yeah, I'd
Um,
say.
so let's go through the lords, shall we? And we'll start with the Queen herself, Lady Moreau.
Yep,
No, we'll start with
and
Lady
she.
D.
I was kidding. I think we both went with the appropriate answer.
Yeah.
Z.
Uh, so this game kind of pulled one on us when it comes to the marketing.
Oh yeah,
I
it
think the
did.
marketing was purposely misleading. Firstly, it had that sting where we saw Chris murdering Mia, and we were like, why is he doing that? And now we know why. It's because he was just having a bad day.
Yeah, it was just...
But Lady D in the marketing was made out to kind of be the main villain. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, we didn't see any of the others in the marketing, not until right at the very, very, very end. But for most of the marketing, she was the main villain, and people were like, "What is this? It's a really tall, large-breasted vampire lady."
And I think I think you understand what happened.
Oh yeah, she was warmly welcomed by the internet,
I
especially.
must say,
Yeah,
I thought you were talking, so I was like, kind of like, oh, I'm not gonna.
I'm always talking.
That is true, but I personally find the daughters more attractive,
Yeah, so she is
and
accompanied by three gothy daughters.
if you look like one of those daughters, I'm always free on Saturdays.
Yeah, Jazz loves
Not really.
a girl with some good blood in her face.
Oh God.
Yeah. So the main striking feature about Lady D is that she's posh, she's aristocratic, and she's 9 feet tall, which is very tall. She's actually nearly 10 feet, isn't she? I think she's 9.6.
That's not nearly 10 feet. That's like halfway there.
Well, it's closer to 10 feet than it is to 8 feet. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're right, but it's closer to. Well, it's like it's in the middle of being nine. It's closer to being 9 foot than to 10 foot.
She's a big lady. Where do you think you would come up if you were stood next to her? Like the knee?
I don't know how tall her. Oh, I would definitely be past her knee.
You think then you people? I think the knee would be like where my torso is.
How tall are you?
I'm like 8 feet, like 9, I think. So I'm not
God
too
damn
far
it!
over. Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't ask a serious question here.
No, I'm like 5'11". So
Oh,
what
I'm
would I
taller
be?
than you.
Would my head be like waist?
Trying to think. I'm thinking. Let me. I need to freaking pull up a picture of
These
Lady
the,
D.
these are the important questions we ask whilst playing Resident Evil
Ah,
Village.
damn it! Why is my fucking thing? Wait,
Ethan
what the?
Ethan is kind of stomach. I think. I think that's where Ethan comes up to because you're obviously looking through his eyes, and I think his eyes line up with like her stomach.
Oh my God! You can't search up Lady D, man.
No, don't search up Lady D. Her full name is Demetrescu, right?
Demetress.
Yeah, which is odd
9'6".
because it has a U on the end of the name,
Yeah.
but only some characters pronounce the U and others characters don't. She doesn't.
Okay. So it is. So Leon is 5'11", and
Okay.
he lands up about like her waist or stomach. She
Okay.
wears a big dress. I can't fucking
Oh,
read.
so I'm about the same height as Leon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit tall. I'm a few inches taller than Leon, so
Okay.
I think I'd be around her breast. Not her breast. No.
No way. That they're so high up.
No, I mean like the bottom of her breast. I
Oh, okay,
genuinely
sure.
don't
That would
know.
be like the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. She does also
Like,
gain
yeah.
an
Wait,
extra
no,
few
not the
inches.
ceiling. Wait, no, not the ceiling. Um, fuck. Wait, I don't. The like a little like 2 inches below her breast.
Right. Okay, that's good to know.
I'm thinking about this very.
Way too much.
Like,
Yeah. Um,
yeah.
She also gains a couple of extra feet with her gigantic hat as well, which is awesome.
I love that hat.
So her deal, let me just remember. So she actually is a vampire, but only kind of medically. I think it says that she has like a blood disorder, so she needs blood or something.
Loser.
But since being given the magic mold, she now regenerates really, really quickly, which is why you can't really hurt her. But her regenerative
Oh yeah,
ability
she
has made
sucks.
her grow ridiculously tall.
I mean, like some people like that a lot.
Oh yeah.
Clearly.
And her daughters are kind of vampiric as well. But I remember in the Maiden demo when you are sneaking around the castle, you find a diary that says like, I opened the windows and they all freaked out and punished me or something. And the assumption was because the sunlight, right? But it turns out it's not sunlight.
Wait, it's not.
No, it's not sunlight that kills the daughters. It's the cold that kills the bugs. So what?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, it's the cold from outside that kills the bugs.
oh! I
Yeah,
am.
but I
I'm shocked.
but I thought that was really interesting because it's almost like the vampire myth that we know has kind of got it wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like the people that wrote the folk tales of vampires in the Resident Evil world wrote them as if they're vulnerable against sunlight, but they're actually not. They're just vulnerable against the cold. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, clearly, Lady Demetrust isn't vulnerable against the cold.
No, because she's not made out of bugs like the daughters are.
So the thing that's always been bothering me is, how does she get around the village?
I guess she just walks around, right?
Yeah.
But the daughters don't,
They stay.
unless it's summer. I guess then they can go out.
I mean, they're pretty up north.
Yeah. So
Or not north, east, northeast.
yeah,
I
all
don't
the
know what really.
directions, east, northeast. Um, so the thing about the castle as well is that they turn virgins into wine. They use their blood for wine or something. And
That that when you said turn virgins, I thought it was going a different way, man.
no, we're going the wine way.
Okay, I'm fine with that one, honestly.
But they turn they kind of they I think they drink the blood of all the men that they capture, and then they turn the women into slaves because all of the enemies in the castle are women.
Wait, they are?
Yeah, all of the ghouls that you fight in the dungeons and stuff, they're all women.
How do you know their
Because
gender?
it's in the art book, man. You gotta read the files, man.
I read the
You
goddamn
gotta
artwork.
read them again.
Okay. You want me to go fucking read them right now?
If you could, yeah.
All right, I'm going to.
But yeah, so all the villains inside the Lady D castle are women, which I thought was pretty cool. Anyway,
That is sexist.
so oh yeah, we forgot to talk about the storybook because that's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's weird. So this game starts with like a storybook, and it's kind of like that scene in the Harry Potter movie where you learn about the
the
Deathly
Deathly
Hallows.
Hollows.
Yeah, it really reminded me of that because it's like this series has never done anything like this before, so it feels kind of
Yeah,
weird that it's in like a cartoony graphics.
that was cool,
Yeah,
and it did look really good.
it did look very good. It was just very unusual, and it basically tells the
Mhm.
story of the game as a fairy tale, and each lord is represented by a forest beast that this little girl finds, and Lady D is the bat, right?
Wait, it's the tragedy of Ethan Winters concept art, by the way, right?
Could be. I don't know. Don't ask me. I just
I'm
work here.
trusting you. All right, Resident Evil Village, ghouls. I don't see them.
I'll find it and I'll send it to you after I've
All
written.
right.
Um,
I like how they have the girls have the scissors.
I think that's the original design for Lady D. I think she was originally going to be like a gothy vampire with a big pair of scissors.
Her concept was bewitching vampire with giant garden clippers. Yeah, you're right.
There you go. Um, anyway, so another thing that really kind of took us by surprise is in the marketing, I really thought that this game was village and castle. I don't know if you thought that.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, but but the castle is such a small part of the game. There's so much more in this game that was not in the marketing.
I genuinely just thought it was the village and like the castle and like late, probably the factory setting too,
Yeah, or some
because
kind of
I
lab or
saw that.
something at the end.
Like it has to have.
Yeah, with a train or a helicopter. And but no, the castle was a pretty small part of the game. I think it was a really good bit of the game. I think the castle is one of the strongest parts of the game.
Yeah.
But anyway, after the castle, we go on to Zelda boss number 2, which is Donna Beneviento. And this part is freaky as hell.
I had to pause the game
Holy
physically a
crap.
lot.
This, like, anyone who said that this game isn't a horror game, this scene is for them. Like, this one scene is
Yeah.
so creepy, it makes up for the horror of the whole game, I would say.
Yeah, I will agree.
Yeah.
That part scared me to death, man.
Yeah. It's the dollhouse. You go to this lady who I think originally she was planned to be like the town surgeon in the artwork, but they changed her to be that she's just kind of a mad woman who makes dolls.
Which, I gotta respect. I don't make dolls, but
She's got the
people
skill.
got their hobbies. I don't
She's
fucking know.
she's got the skill, yeah. And her main deal is that she grows plants that make people hallucinate. That's her main deal, isn't it?
Uh, I mean, isn't that just, you know, Walter White?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But I think as
So
well,
Donna Benevento is Walter White.
correct, confirmed. You heard it here first, folks. I think her deal though is that when you're under the influence of these plants, she can like control your hallucinations. That's how I
Wait,
kind of
how the
interpreted it.
fuck did Ethan get in through the fucking grass, man?
Oh, it's growing outside the house. You walk right past it.
I said, but I thought you had to eat it.
No, you just got to look at it.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so, so that mansion, the spooky dollhouse mansion, is right on the edge of a cliff next to a waterfall. And
I'd live by it. I'd live in it. Is what I meant.
do you think you'd live in a house that's on a cliff by a waterfall?
Yeah.
Yeah, but think about it. It looks great, but like,
Hmm.
have you ever lived like near a train track or something, or near an airport?
Oh shit, you're right.
That is going to be loud waterfall all day, all night.
Well, I mean, you got your basement with the
Yeah, but
fetus.
that's true. But also, like that house is made out of wood, and damp is a problem with wooden houses anyway. Try living next to a
Yeah.
waterfall.
Oh shit, you're right. I did
Basic.
not think about it. It looked really good.
Oh, it looks like a lovely mansion, but it would be a nightmare to live in, not just because of
Yeah.
the horrible things that it contains.
Like I'm fine with all the dolls and shit and the fetus. I can live with that.
Yeah.
But it would be so loud.
Oh, the waterfall would just never stop.
I would build the dam, god damn it.
Just build a
Like
dam.
the cliff part I can live with.
Yeah.
It's a cliff.
Good
Live your
views,
life on
even
the
though it's
edge.
mostly just mist.
Yeah.
So this part is not really combat heavy because it actually takes away your guns.
You don't have it for like any of the part and you don't shoot anything until after you're done with it. So
Yeah. And it's not even really set in the mansion because you go into the basement, right? You spend most of it in the basement.
hmm
And
with
and
fetus.
some freaky shit goes on down there. You have to I quite like that you have to kind of solve puzzles and you have to find hidden keys and stuff. That's all very cool and Resident Evil-y. But then it goes super PT, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
so
it
PT.
gives me flashbacks.
Yeah, as
Like
you're chased by a giant fetus thing that screams at you.
and it's like Papa and I hate it.
Have you seen the death
Like
animation?
oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, where he like eats you whole. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, and you have to like
I
hide under
was
a bed, and he's dragging an umbilical cord behind him.
I know, I didn't notice that until my most recent playthrough.
Yeah, it's so gross. There's one jump scare as well when he's like at the top of a stairway.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, that's too much, man.
Wait, I wasn't referring to that one. I thought you were referring to the one in the elevator where like the light barely flashes and then he comes at you, but like the
Yeah,
elevator closes.
oof, no fun. And then you have this kind of boss encounter with the doll where she's flying around the house and you have to stab her with scissors.
I hate that.
Yeah,
And
that was a nightmare to get the trophy to do it in a as fast as possible because she changes her position randomly.
wait, she does?
Yeah, well, sort of randomly. The first position is always the same, and the last
And
position is always the same, but the second one can change.
I knew I wasn't stupid. I knew it.
Yeah, second position changes. I don't know why the first and the last one never do, but the second one does.
Well, I think the first one and last one are just, Capcom saying, you know what, champ, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go stab a doll.
Did you actually ever see when the dolls attack you
Yes, the
if you
first
don't
time I
find her
played
in
it because
time?
I took forever trying to find her.
I did that my second time playing, which I've played through this game. I finished the game 3 times, but I played through it 4.
Okay.
It was
Um,
fun.
so what I really like about the doll though is that when you finally kill her, it reveals Donna Beneviento holding her, and it kind of gives the impression that she has been holding her the whole game, but you
Yeah,
just weren't able to see her.
I think that's cool. But
Yeah,
then
that's
you also kill her?
yeah, because you're actually stabbing her, not the doll.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, and her scar on her face is shaped like the mold, which is lucky, I guess. Um,
Uh,
there was originally going to be like a backstory with her family that they all like jumped off the waterfall or something, but I guess it never made it into the game.
yeah, the art book thing.
She looks so much like a Silent Hill character, doesn't she?
Oh, she really
She
does.
really
She's
does.
hot.
She is very pretty.
Like,
See how I'm not objectifying people, Giles, like you do.
well, dude, I live in Texas.
I think she's
Like,
hot. I think she's got a hot personality. You know,
uh,
maybe take time to actually speak to the girl before you stab her in the head. That's what I say.
you know what? Yeah. You know what? I'm taking a new step forward.
You've really changed today. We're so proud of you.
Hmm. Yeah. It's not all about looks.
It's not all about looks.
Speaking of looks,
We got the most handsome one next.
yes, this one, I'm taking back my promise. I'm objectifying this big boy.
Oh, he is hot. Oh yeah,
like,
no personality needed. He is hot.
he has a great personality too. Yet he is so attractive.
He is. So
Like,
after leaving the dollhouse, you go down to the reservoir, which is like the gooey, gross, watery part of the village.
which does not reflect the person living there at
No.
all.
And the master of this reservoir is Moreau, whose name I can't remember. Salvatore Moreau? Is that right?
Um,
It's something like that.
I don't know.
This is your cue to Google it. I'm
I'm not
pretty.
gonna Google it.
Okay, we'll just say it's Salvatore then. And then after
I'm not
finishing
gonna
this,
say it's
I'll.
Salvatore.
Okay, we'll say it's Sal. Just Sal. Um, anyway, it's Moreau, who is a part man, part mermaid fish creature.
And he is sexy.
He is very sexy. He looks like a hunchback. He vomits out this green goo that
Yeah.
that blocks passages,
Mm.
but you can destroy with a knife, which I didn't realize until my third playthrough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used pipe bombs the first time. I just blew them all up, but I didn't realize
I used
you.
the grenade launcher the first time.
Well, you got to find some use for it, haven't you?
Oh, yeah,
Just saying,
I hate that
worst
weapon.
grenade launcher
Honestly.
in any Resident Evil game.
I genuinely don't use them in any Resident Evil game, anyways.
Well,
But like this one just
even in
sucked.
RE2.
In RE2,
Yeah, you
I
get.
don't know if I used it in my original one,
Ah, you got
but
it.
in RE2 remake, I just fucking skip it.
Because remember, with Claire in the original, it's either that or the freaking bow gun. You got to make your
Oh yeah,
choice.
grenade launcher, grenade
Yeah.
launcher.
Anyway, yeah. So he pukes up gross stuff. You also get chased by a werewolf on the way there, right?
Yeah, that guy's pretty easy to go.
Yeah, but it's kind of a tense part where you have to sneak through the buildings as this scary werewolf is stalking you.
Wait, you snuck by him?
Yeah. I didn't kill him at that point.
I killed him.
Oh, because I think the game doesn't want you to kill him at that point. Because remember, you're trying to work your way to get the weapon that kills him, which is the Wolfsbane Magnum.
I just shot him.
Well, I got the Magnum and shot him.
I bought the Magnum at Heisenberg's place. I didn't know you could get it until later.
Yeah. If you read the notes and stuff in that part, you'll see that one of the guys. In fact, it's the guy. Do you remember when you were in Louise's house and Louise's husband has gone?
Mhm.
She mentions that he's gone. You
Oh,
find you find his
I think that
body
was the grenade launcher. I thought I was referring to the grenade launcher.
where he's like, there's a
Oh,
weapon that can kill the werewolf in this building, and you get there and it's the Wolfsbane Magnum.
huh.
Um,
Okay.
anyway, he chases you to the reservoir, and you get to the reservoir, and Moreau pukes everywhere, traps you in the reservoir, and then turns into a big fish. That's
And
basically it, right?
You know what? Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. Moreau's bit is kind of the actiony bit because it's lots of running and jumping.
Mhm. And
Um,
one-liners.
yeah. Uh,
I caught a big one.
oh yeah, I caught a big one and all that. Yeah, I hate that stupid puzzle with the levers.
That's not
Um,
really a puzzle. It's just
you have to just do it
put
really
it
quick, right?
pulling. No,
Yeah, you got to pull
you just
levers
pull down the levers,
and then you got to run
levers.
across, right?
But you can just like pull them down like a
No,
few times,
but
and then
I'm
like
just saying,
boom.
like Ethan, just jump, man. Like it's like 2 feet that gap. Just jump.
Dude, Ethan's a software engineer.
He's not trained
He can't.
to
He doesn't
jump.
know how to fucking jump.
He barely knows how to use these levers.
Yeah, he went to military training at camp, and he can't fucking jump. You want to know why? Because he's a goddamn software
He's a
engineer.
software engineer, but
Fuck
that
software
did give him the
engineers.
training to fix the fuse in Donna's basement. So good on him.
Hmm.
At least she can work in the basement now. But yeah, you run around. There's not really much to the reservoir. There's a bit of a puzzle toward the end where you have to like open the dam. And this puzzle, I think it's a good puzzle, but it's kind of dumb when you think about it. The one I'm talking about is the one where you have to match the orange and blue
Yeah,
lights so you can turn
I
the power on.
didn't. I didn't know that was just like you had to turn the paper a little bit, so
Yeah,
I just figured it out by pressing them.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like you have the solution there, but the solution is turned 90 degrees, so you have to try to get your head around where the lights should be if they were turned 90 degrees. But the whole time I'm playing it, I'm just like, why am I doing this? Like Ethan, just turn the piece of paper. Like, just why are you not? Why are you making this hard for yourself?
I also, as I said, just clicked the buttons until they were
Until
their highest
you
volt.
brute forced it.
Yeah, if you can't tell, I killed the wolf just with the guns I had.
Oh yeah.
I did the puzzle like not really caring.
Okay.
Um, I did the lever part pretty easy on.
Yeah.
Um, with the Demetress thing, I tried killing the daughters without the sunlight thing in warm weather. If you can't tell, I'm a very straightforward
Yeah, I
person
get
when it
that.
comes to my video games.
You can read the files and learn the stuff later. For now, you got to shoot stuff.
Yeah.
Which is kind of how Moreau's section end, right? You drain the water and you think that's killed him, but it turns out he can walk on the water. So it's
Like
like
a Chad.
that was a waste of
He's
time, I
Jesus.
guess.
He's literally Jesus.
Well, he can't walk on the water. He can walk outside of the water, which is
But he did he
I can
was
do
he
that.
um and you had a beard like Jesus before you betrayed me.
I know I shaved it off. Mostly
Why?
it's kind of stubbly now because it was itchy and I could hear it when I was talking to people on the phone. That's when
I
you know
don't
it's too
care.
long.
I don't. You could have freaking trimmed it.
No, there's no time for that.
I hate you.
But I really like when you're fighting Moreau. He has that ability where he kind of just pukes acid into the air and it rains acid down.
Yeah, I
Very
hate that part.
gross. Very
It's
gross.
cool and I like it, but I hate it.
And what I haven't mentioned is that every time Ethan defeats one of these lords, he says like a one-liner, and some of them are real bad, and some of them are just kind of mean.
Yeah, this one
Um,
was really mean.
it's just mean what he says to Moreau. So when you beat Lady D, she's like, "Curse you," and then he finally defeats her, and he's like, "You're the one that's cursed." And it's so lame. it's,
Yeah.
it's so bad.
And then I forgot the Donna one.
Can't remember the Donna one.
That was
Um,
forgetful.
but for Moreau, he's like, "You died as you existed in life. Disgusting." And
And
I was like,
that's mean.
I was like, "All right, Ethan, you just killed a guy." Like,
Like you've lived through Louisiana, so you would know that they're being forced to do this against their will.
yeah, and this guy's like clearly had the short end of the straw. The others have got like cool superpowers, and this guy's gross.
Yeah,
So
like they had their humanish forms for
so
them, you know.
not only is Ethan like a lame nerd software engineer, but he's also a bit of a cyberbully jerk as well. That's what we've learned.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
you know,
body
as a
shaming
cyber
people.
bully myself,
Oh yeah,
like, come on, step up your game,
yeah. Just be nice to the
too.
guy.
Like, you don't go for someone so pathetic
No,
and handsome.
he needs help, and I would help him,
I would help him.
but Ethan
He
would
he
just kill him and insult him.
he genuinely does seem like a great guy though.
Yeah,
Morale.
yeah.
Like
He
he
still can't say
stays
his
in.
name.
Yeah, he stays in watching rom-coms and he likes cheese.
Yeah, there you go. He's a nice guy.
I want to hang out with him.
Anyway, he's dead, so we move on.
Yeah, sadly.
After him, we go for the last lord, who is we've been warned up to this point in the game that Heisenberg is the most powerful of the lords, or the most
And
deadly, or something.
he's he's kind of like the same dick level as Ethan, if I'm to be honest.
Yeah, he's a real prick. This guy, isn't he? And but his powers are kind of weird. I don't quite get them. So he's basically Magneto. He can control metal.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was just Magneto.
But I don't really understand how the mold gave him that. Like, I don't understand how the mold gave him the power to beat Magneto. But it's kind of Resident Evil logic, isn't it? Where viruses can do anything.
Oh well, to be fair, this game it has a lot more wilder things, I feel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Code Veronica virus makes you shoot fire, right? You can like
Hmm.
control fire with your
And
brain.
a normal person punched a boulder.
This is true, yeah. And
Well,
then
a ripped normal person, but still a normal person.
and also like the G virus makes you just grow into a big train blob. So viruses can do anything.
And yet we're stuck with the lousy C virus.
Yeah, and in this one, he can control magnets,
Yep.
and I really like Heisenberg's area though. I didn't like it the first time. Let me be more specific. I like the look of Heisenberg's area, the factory, but I think it goes on way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mainly because it's all kind of the same. Like it all looks the same. I think if there was like different looking parts of the factory, it'd be more interesting. But it's all the same color scheme. The enemies get a little bit silly.
They do.
Yeah,
Like, there's a guy that straight up looks like a fucking samurai. I was like, I like the design, but this does not belong in this game.
I think for me it was the jetpack guys. I was like, okay, we've crossed the
Oh
line here.
yeah.
These
Like,
like
the other guys, I can get. They're pretty cool.
yeah, they're ghouls that Heisenberg has grafted some kind of metal thing onto them. Maybe a drill arm, which I think is cool. The propeller
Mhm.
guy, even though he's apparently stolen from a movie.
Wait, he was?
Yeah, did you not hear about this?
No.
Okay, so I think his name's Sturm in the game, and
Yeah.
he's a guy whose whole upper body is replaced by an aeroplane propeller. Except it's not an aeroplane propeller; it's three chainsaws. If you look carefully,
Oh,
yeah,
sick.
yeah. Instead of propellers, it's actually three
That's,
chainsaws.
that's fucking cool.
Yeah, it is. And he's like cut off his own arms as you would, and so he just kind of charges at you with this big propeller head. Really cool design for an enemy. It's actually kind of taken from a movie called I think it's called Frankenstein's Army. I think it's called that. I might need to Google it.
Oh, wow.
But the
Sounds
director
great.
of that movie like started filing a lawsuit against Capcom because he was like, "Hey, they stole my monster."
Well, was this movie popular?
No,
Then I don't think Capcom should be held at fault here. It's
but
like,
what's worse though is I think in one of the files somewhere it says that his design was inspired by a movie character.
oh
They shouldn't have
god.
wrote that.
Oh no.
Oh no, they shouldn't have wrote that. That's a bad one.
Oh fuck.
But yeah,
Well, I'm sorry we're not getting any RE8 DLC.
yeah, but yeah. So when you get a free second, Google Frankenstein's army, and you'll see the propeller man. He looks exactly the same, and he even sets on fire like he does in the game. Um, anyway, I really like his design, even if it wasn't theirs.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that Heisenberg is like creating an army of weird Terminators.
But that are easily fucking killed.
Yeah, they've got like Power Rangers esque giant weak points on their chests.
Just put, like, okay, I get like it's your main power source. And I think the ones with the metal covering it are all cool and all, but just put bulletproof glass. Like, you
Yeah,
get the same look.
yeah, or just a piece of metal or something, just so it's not as obvious that that's where you got to shoot them.
Yeah, or like just make like a torso of armor. Like I know I said the samurai thing was ridiculous, but like I'm not saying a fucking Megazord. I think that's what they're called.
I am saying a Megazord.
I know you're saying a Megazord, but I'm saying just like a fuck, what are they called? Chainmail.
There
Like a
you
kind
go.
of
Just
chainmail
just
thing, except
something.
not chain mail, like a sheet metal.
There you go.
Just covering it. So it doesn't look like you have to shoot at it.
Yeah, make it less obvious. Come on, people.
Come on,
Um,
Heisenberg.
but the cool thing I think I like about Heisenberg's factory is I really like the smelter mechanic. I think that's really clever. How
Oh
you have,
yeah, that is cool.
how you have to keep returning back to the same room with the smelter and give it different molds to get like different keys and stuff. That's really cool. I like that. More of that, please.
I think that was a good mechanic.
Yeah, and also it has kind of a Dark Souls thing where you unlock the elevator so you can return to earlier levels and stuff.
Yeah,
There
that
you
was
go.
also cool.
Resident Evil is a Dark Souls game. Confirmed. You heard it here, folks.
Well, Village of Shadows basically is
Correct.
honestly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that difficulty is very hard. Um, anyway, it ends with us fighting Heisenberg in a kaiju battle, which is pretty wild, isn't it?
Yeah,
How did you feel about that?
I thought it was a fun boss fight my first time and my second time.
Uh,
Then I played it on Village of Shadows
oh man, it's so hard on that difficulty, isn't it?
because like you get to red health unless if you block it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And even then, if you get another hit in, you're probably going to die.
So
I
a
don't
bit
know
of
what happened to my voice.
so a bit of context here. You end up fighting Heisenberg outside the factory. You're in like a little tank that Chris
hmm
built. It's a little thing made out of metal that he can't control, which is odd. I don't know how Chris managed to build this. What has Chris been doing this whole time? Just building this.
Dude, he's punched boulders.
He's been building this little tank that's got a machine gun on it. It's got a howitzer on it, and it's got a chainsaw on it.
Just
Um,
sick.
it's pretty cool. And Ethan drives it out, and then Heisenberg turns up, and he's like freaking Truckosaurus at this point. He's controlled a bunch of metal and turned himself into a giant metal monster, and you have to fight him in a kaiju battle.
It's sick,
It
but
is
it
cool,
is.
and it's like raining and there's lightning. It's very epic,
hmm
um,
But
and it's not
um,
too difficult. But as Jar said, on the hardest difficulty, the difficulty leaps up.
yeah, it's like I'm glad it's not like Resident Evil 3 Remake's Nightmare and Inferno mode, because that was like from hardcore to like the rest of the game. Wait, yeah, I'm gonna reword that. Like the beginning of the game of Nightmare and Inferno mode, and like pretty much all of it up to the final boss fight is like normal mode.
Yeah,
It's pretty easy. It's
yeah.
not the
I
hardest.
remember being surprised when I was playing through on Inferno. I was like, this isn't actually that bad.
And then it
And
happened.
then I realized how naive I was. Uh,
And that all changed when
the
the Fire Nation attacked.
correct. The final boss is so freaking hard in Resident Evil 3 Remake on those difficulties.
It I have not beaten it yet.
I have, and it makes you so good at that boss. Like I can do that boss so easily now.
Yeah, I think it's that kind of thing.
Yeah, once you've done it, you can then it's just locked into your brain and muscle memory because you'll have tried it 400 times.
Yeah, and I think this Heisenberg boss fight is not as bad as that,
No.
but it is pretty bad.
Yeah, what you learn is that the howitzer is basically to make him go away. That's all you use it
Yeah,
for, is when he gets too
uh,
close, you just howitzer him and he backs off.
I also used it when he like shielded himself with metal.
Yeah. But anyway, he dies. It's very dramatic. And then we have the end game. And this is where the game goes off the frickin' rails.
It
The,
does like a fucking kickflip, and then it does another kickflip
it does
in
a
the air,
it does
and
a
then a
double back
backflip
it does a double
while
back
doing a kickflip.
it does a double back endo. And I don't even know what that is.
You were just waiting for me to stop talking so you
Yeah, but
could say that.
you just kept adding more tricks.
Oh, and an ollie.
It does a Christ air, which might not even be a real trick.
don't think that exists.
Well, they did that in Tony Hawk's, right? I remember.
I never played a Tony Hawk game.
What? Why have you never played Tony Hawk's?
I just never got. I was never like a skateboard kid. I was always a rad scooter
You don't have to be
or.
good at skateboarding to play Tony Hawk's. It does actually ask you
Have
in
you
the
ever?
opening menu, though. It's like, are you good at skating? Because otherwise you can't play this.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it does. It says,
That's
Jars, are you
sick.
good at skating?
Well, I always thought about becoming a skateboarder, so girls at my 2013 school would be like, "Damn, he's hot."
Damn. I wouldn't say see you later, boy, to him.
Yeah.
There you go. Do you appreciate that?
It reminded me of that song. You should never do that. Because whenever I think of Skater Boy, I think of Marmaduke.
Really?
Yes, the movie
Okay.
Marmaduke.
Is it
That's
in
the
that movie?
only. No, not the song, but there's the character, right?
Okay.
That is a skater and just like one of the daughters dates him,
Sounds pretty
but
rad.
like they look like they're 14.
Oh, God.
So it was like, shitty haircut,
Yeah, yeah. Baggy
and
ass
it was made in
trousers.
2010.
It's all
So
wristbands. Yeah.
it's beautiful.
uh,
Like I unironically watched Marmaduke.
do you remember how to spell Skater Boy?
The proper way or the cool way?
The as it is written on the album.
Skater, or is there a T in between the T and the E?
No, I think no. There's no A. It's an 8.
Yeah, I said SK8TER
Oh, right.
or SK8ER.
And
I just
is it
my act.
BOI or is it
I
BOY? Did BOI exist at that point?
I don't
I
know.
don't know. It's important that we find out. Anyway,
Skater Boy 87. What the fuck is this? Oh, this is not what I was looking for.
what are we talking about?
I don't fucking
What
know.
are we talking
It
about?
might it might just be the SK8R.
Yeah, I don't think Boy BOI existed at that point. I think that was later.
Skater Boy. It was SK8ER.
Ah, there you go.
And then it was BOY.
Oh, it is BOI. Oh man,
It is
they were
BOY.
ahead of the times. Wow,
Okay.
man, we've learned so much. Anyway,
Yeah.
listen to that today.
I'm gonna do that
I'm going to
right
jam
now.
out to that today. So, as we said, this is the part of the game where the storyline goes absolutely flipping bananas. And it starts to actually explain what the hell's going on, and the explanation is really weird.
I kind of forgot it.
Okay, let me lay it down to you in bullet points. So,
Ooh. Is
Miranda
this the only thing you put
is.
notes on?
No, I haven't got any notes. I'm just ad libbing this. So, Miranda is
Oh,
really
okay.
old. She lives in the village. Her daughter died of Spanish flu. She found a giant mushroom. She made friends with giant mushroom. Giant mushroom gave her powers, which she believed she could use to bring her daughter back to life. She then becomes friends with Oswald Spencer, which is very odd. Sort of suggests that maybe they were a love interest thing. Maybe that's just my fan
Ooh, I
fiction.
thought Spencer was gay.
Nah, he's banging chicks all over Europe. Anyway, uh,
Yeah,
but
I'm kind of
they
disappointed he's not gay.
and he then likes the symbol that they found in the cave where the big mushroom is, and he's like, that's a symbol I might use to build a company, and that's where the umbrella symbol comes from, which was weird, but whatever. That was another sting that was in the marketing where we saw the umbrella logo, and it was like, what's going on? That's why apparently at the time it wasn't the umbrella logo, but it inspired the umbrella logo. Anyway,
Which is pretty rad.
she spent like 100 years trying to find a good host for the baby. It needs to be a host that can be moldy, that can like work well with the mold. She's tried the four lords, but they're all kind of crap in their own ways, and none of them worked. Then Resident Evil 7 happened, where
Louisiana.
a piece of the mold got taken, experimented on. They made a little girl who went crazy in Louisiana. Ethan, the software engineer, saved the day.
Dick. He's also a dick.
But we learned something very important about Ethan. He done got did in. I believe it's a technical term.
Well, Daddy Jackie O, Pachingad. I don't know what that verb
these
is.
these are all real terms. He's dead. That's what we're trying to say.
We are we are professionals here at
Yeah.
Itchy Taster
So Resident Evil 7,
Incorporated.
Ethan was killed in Resident Evil 7. We just didn't see it. Um,
Yeah, it was like right before, like right when Jack first encountered, not when Jack was, walking and stuff, but
no,
like when
when
after you
he
kill
knocks you out,
Mia.
right?
Yeah, I think he actually kills you.
Yeah, he actually kills you, and it actually explains a lot of the loopholes, the plot holes in Resident Evil 7, because the explanation is that the mold has brought Ethan back to life. Because remember we said that the mold stores your consciousness in a zip file.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
well, the mold has kind of reinterpreted Ethan, but Ethan has no memories of that, so he just thinks he's still the same Ethan.
yeah,
Um, but it explains why Ethan keeps losing limbs and he's able to stick them back on,
just pretty rad.
which is pretty rad. And there's also a hint at it in RE8. I don't know if you heard about this with his missing hand.
No.
Oh, so when Lady D slices your hand off, you pick it up and it goes into your inventory. If you examine the hand and look at the cut off bit, it's all moldy. There you go.
Oh, that's cool.
Very cool. I didn't even look at it in my inventory, but if you do, it's all moldy.
I didn't know it went into your inventory.
Yeah, it does. Before he again slices it back on, and it restitches his sleeve, which I never quite understood.
That's sick.
It is. So
Wait, no, the jacket is part of the mold.
that's true. Yeah,
He just like forms his own clothing and is like, oh,
every
that's
day,
new.
and he doesn't even notice that he's doing it. Oh, that's
He's
cool.
just like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if
Like,
it
oh,
does
I
it
don't
like in
know.
his sleep as well. Like if he's dreaming, he's an astronaut. He's just in bed in a spacesuit.
Mia just wakes up and is like,
Yeah,
damn, I'd fuck that.
yeah. He's in those leather shorts that he keeps waking up in. What is he dreaming about anyway?
And it's like, Mia, why do you keep dressing me up in my sleep?
Yeah. Um. So Ethan's dead. He's been dead for the whole
That's
game,
cool.
but it means that between Resident Evil 7 and 8, Ethan had a baby with Mia, and so the baby is like a mold baby.
Which I did. Okay, I'm 100% sure. When everybody found out this plot twist, they were like, "What's his penis look like?"
Yeah, is it moldy and weird? Maybe.
Like, how does it work?
Well, in terms of like, is it got
Well, I
working sperm that that seems to
like,
actually work?
cause does it, like just did the mold just like remake the human organs and like hormones?
I guess like it must like imitate humans at like an atomic level, a molecular level,
Yeah,
which is insane. But it's Resident Evil science logic.
like
Yeah. So they have a gooey mold baby, which, to be honest, it's one of the things that I didn't quite catch the first time I played the game. I was like, why is Miranda after Rose, the baby? Why her specifically? But that's why. It's because
I
she's
I just thought Ethan was infected.
yeah. Well, he is so much so that he's dead.
History. Yes, he is mold.
Um, so it sort of suggests that Chris didn't know this, but Chris must have known this.
I think Chris just forgot about it.
Yeah. So should we talk about Chris? Because there's a lot going on with Chris in this game, right?
Yeah, you don't see him for like a good, I'm gonna say like 3 hours into the game, and then like you just randomly see him, and then he's gone for like another 2 hours, and then he's back, and then he's just there for the rest of the game.
Yeah, most of the end game is Chris centric, isn't it?
Hmm.
So Chris, last time we saw Chris, he was with Blue Umbrella. He'd taken a vacation from the BSAA and he's working with Blue Umbrella. But he's not with Blue Umbrella this time.
He's still working with the BSAA, just like he's like, screw you guys, I'm making my own branch, and he
Yeah,
makes like the Wolf Commando Squad, which is the stupidest name.
they're called. It's not Wolfhound. It's Hound Wolf Squad, which I find really odd.
It's like I think Capcom tried to choose like a cool name, and they're just like, objectively, this is a cool name.
Yeah, and in all the artwork, they're referred to as HWS. Hound Wolf Squad.
So
Um,
stupid.
but the idea is that he's gone rogue, right? He's outside of orders. He's gone mad. He's taken a squad with him,
Hmm.
and he's just doing shit on his own now. And the art book also like gives each of his squad like a backstory, but none of that's in the game.
Yeah, which is just like they're there for a few seconds, and I'm like, oh wow, they have like the cool chit chat.
Yeah, they've all got cool names and they've got personalities, but it's so brief. I think it's a DLC thing. Just calling it. That's what I think it is.
I think me and you both agree on that.
Yeah.
There, that it's just gonna be Chris go walking up to BSA and being like, "Yo, yo, yo, what's up with these bioweapon people that you're sending in? It's like kind of like your soldiers, kind of weird, ain't it,
Yeah.
bro?"
So this game ends with a bunch of kind of loose plot lines that are leading into a possible sequel or spin-off or DLC. Where like,
I think there's going to be a DLC and definitely a sequel.
yes, so the BSAA turn up at the end, but Chris is not working with them. If anything, Chris is trying to like keep away from them. I think they're trying to keep hidden from them.
Yeah,
But it turns out the BSAA are using bioweapon soldiers, so like zombie soldiers. I saw an internet theory that was like they're all Chris clones, but that sounds dumb.
yeah, that does sound
That's
pretty
dumb. I
stupid.
was really hoping we'd see Jill.
Hey, I thought
Uh,
it was going to be Jill.
I really thought we'd see Jill. I thought Jill would be like running the BSAA at this point. I always compare her to like Mallory Archer from Archer. I basically want her to be that at the BSAA.
Yeah, I can
Like
see that.
old, drunk, and angry. That's what I want.
But I think she'd be more of like a Sarah Connor type.
Maybe, yeah. She's been through some stuff. She's covered wars, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Chris blows up the big mushroom. Ethan comes back to life. He gets remolded. He has like
Again,
he actually meets Evelyn in the mold, which is super weird.
I thought that was cool.
It was very cool. He meets the villain
But,
from the first game inside the mold, and she's like,
but
"Come back to life, Ethan."
you can tell that the voice actor aged.
Well, of course, yeah. She ain't a little girl
You know,
no
it's
more.
a child, yeah,
Yeah,
so of course they'd age.
yeah. But
But it was like, yeah,
she's a woman now.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but it was cool to see her, and she's like, "Ethan, you can come back to life using mold powers." It kind
Ooh.
of reminds me of the end of Space Jam. You know, when like they're like Michael Jordan, you can use toon powers to win, and he stretches his arm. It's like that. I think that's what they were
I,
going for.
dude, I need to rewatch Space Jam now.
I think this movie takes a lot from Space Jam.
Like the name,
Yeah, correct.
like
Um,
Space Jam Village, they kind of have the
yeah,
same, ring to
space
them.
mold. Uh,
Okay.
and then Ethan has a climactic fight with Miranda, who this might sound controversial, but I actually think Miranda's kind of a weak villain. Not in terms of like difficulty to fight, but I mean just in terms of her story. I don't think she's in the game enough.
Yeah, I'll agree with you
Do,
there.
do you get what I mean? Like she's like and she's not only made out to be the ultimate villain of this game, but also kind of the ultimate villain of all Resident Evil because it all started here. Um,
Yeah,
but she's not really in the game very much.
she's in. I'm trying to remember where she's in. I think the first time you see her like in person is when she kills that guy out of in front of
Yeah,
Louisa's house.
yeah. Well, this is the thing. It's revealed that she can shapeshift, and that Mia at the start that Chris killed was actually Miranda, and
Well,
she.
I'm counting like her true form. Well, not her
Yeah,
true form, but like
and
her form that she usually takes.
and we see her as the hag a few times, and but we actually don't see her as Miranda. We see her during the amazing cutscene at the start where all the lords are together.
And they're arguing, and it's
Yeah,
kind of like a family, and
that's a cool
kind
scene. I
of
like that.
wanting a sitcom.
That's a cool scene. I like that. And
You
then
know,
you don't see her till the end, basically.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
I feel like she should have popped up a few more times.
yeah, and she looks pretty freaky. She again looks kind of like a Silent Hill monster by the end of it.
By the end of it, she definitely gives me Silent Hill vibes.
Yeah, and she dies. Ethan. So I've read a couple of different interpretations here. Ethan dies at the end. We all know that now. Um,
Yeah,
um,
like dies.
yeah, I got the impression he died because he's killed Mother Miranda and she's controlling the. No, no. Chris blew up the Mega Mycete, and he's a part of that. So because that's gone, he's now gone.
I just saw it as like, in The Sixth Sense when he realizes he's a ghost.
Spoilers. I was going to watch that today.
Oh shit, my
Shit.
bad.
Yeah, I
That
remember.
movie's older than me, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's
You, well, and
older.
you think it's like that that once he's aware of it, he just kind of
Yeah,
collapses.
but he was just like, "Screw you, whatever."
Because
Yeah,
I
that game. That
because I interpreted that like they killed the Mega Mycete and then all the mold loses all of its power and he just will collapse into a pile of mold. But I've also read some things that it's like he just succumbs to his wounds from the battle. But I don't think it's that at all.
that's stupid.
Yeah, I don't think it's that because he's been through worse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's lost his leg. He's lost his arm.
yeah.
One, two, three, four, five. A lot of times. Um,
But yeah,
so I think he's handled worse.
he dies. Chris finds the real Mia and rescues her. I also think it's very likely if we get some DLC that one of them will feature her about like what the hell she's been doing for this whole game.
Hmm.
Because she's just been in a cell in Miranda's bedroom or something.
Basement, I'm thinking.
They just kind of been chatting to each other the whole game, and
Maybe they're just like talking, like what it's like having a daughter.
yeah, that's right. And Chris and
Okay.
Mia fly off into the sunset, and that's
Hmm.
the end. Or is it the end?
Oh yeah, and there's
There's the
post credit.
post-credits scene, yeah, where we see teenage Rose, and she's wearing Ethan's jacket, which is pretty cool. It's a nice jacket, and
It is a
she's
really nice
and
jacket.
she's working for an organization that we don't know what it is, but we know that Chris is part of it, and she's like, "I'm more powerful than Evelyn" or something.
And like this jerk that my brother thought was Leon, apparently.
What?
He was like, "Okay, I think that guy might be Leon," and I
Your
was
brother's
like,
wrong.
"He's okay." At this point, he would be around 50. Like
Yeah,
if Rose uh, grew old fast, he'd be around 50. But like, say she grew up in normal time, he'd be around like 68.
yeah, and um, I think it's one of the things I'm most excited about is and the next game following Rose, but seeing all the old characters as really old. I think I'd really like to see that.
I think Rose aged fast, so I don't think we'll see that.
I
But
don't know. I think they should go with make the characters super old. I think they should do it.
I think that would be cool. But I don't
Do you
know
think
how
Chris
Ada
will have
would
an eye? Do
operate.
you think Chris will have an eye patch?
I hope so.
He definitely should have an eye patch.
If he doesn't have an eye patch, I will be disappointed.
And they can make Jill like Mallory Archer. They can give her white hair and everything. Just make it that. That's all I want. Um, you mentioned Ada. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Oh, she was supposed to be in this game, fun fact.
Yeah,
She's not, but she
she's
was
not.
supposed to be.
Yeah, it's like a plague doctor outfit, right?
Hmm.
She was supposed to turn up and help Ethan and then leave, I guess.
I think she was like supposed to be part of the plot more. But like if you have Ada in something, you gotta include the boy.
You gotta have Leon, right?
But apparently, according to my brother, he is in the game.
Yeah, that's correct.
The guy, did he change races too?
Yeah, he did.
Pretty sure.
I love how much of a
Like,
jerk that guy is, like for no reason. That guy's
he's like,
just
okay, Evelyn.
yeah. You know that girl
Like,
that tried to kill that did kill your dad, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And then proceeded to be like, you know what, actually, you're pretty cool.
yeah,
It's like, come on. What's wrong with him?
yeah. And there's a lot of internet rumors as well that Ethan appears at the end, but I don't
He
think that's
doesn't.
true. And like even if you do like hack the game and zoom in on that character and it is Ethan, it's probably just they used the model because they needed a man.
He didn't even notice there was a man. Like, so,
Yeah, it's
because,
dumb. Ethan's dead. He's gone.
yeah, I'm glad he's gone. Not in, I liked his character, especially in Village, but,
Yeah,
I'm glad he's gone because that was probably the most fitting way to end him.
yeah. Real. I think it's a real good ending. And it's nice to, and now we're curious to see like what kind of main character Rose will be, because will you have powers and stuff? Is that going to work
Which
in Resident Evil?
Natalia, I mean, kind of,
She could
but
point
that
at
was,
things.
yeah.
She could point at things. Yeah, she was good at that.
And there was the Albert Wesker mode in R0,
It's true. Yeah, with the laser eyes.
so,
So anyway,
which was cool.
that's kind of Village. The only thing we haven't really mentioned is the Mercenaries mode, but I hate it, so I don't really want to talk about it.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about something that I'm
Okay,
sad did not show up in the game.
go on then.
I really, until I learned that it was actually software engineering. I wanted Heisenberg and Ethan just to have a chat about engineering. Like, just sit, like, when they're sitting down, I was just like, can we have, like, a fucking scene where they just chat?
Well, maybe on the street with the florist and the bed and breakfast, there's also like a computer repair shop,
Oh,
and it's
yeah!
Heisenberg and Ethan. He does the software, he does the hardware.
And they're kind of gay for each
Oh,
other,
they're
but they won't
super
admit it.
gay for each other. Oh yeah,
Well, like, but they won't admit it.
yeah. It just writes itself, doesn't it? Yeah.
It really does,
The
man.
fanfic Resident Evil Street is so easy to write.
Because don't you have like Leon running like also a bed and breakfast that rivals Chris and Piers?
That's right, yeah.
We just need to have a video where we just talk about this. That'd be
Yeah,
amazing,
that'd be
man.
awesome. We should just go through some Resident Evil fanfics and just read them in character and do the
Oh
voices.
my god, yeah.
Oh my god.
I'll do every female character since I'm like
You're
only a
not going to
few.
find many female characters.
It's just gay.
In sexy fanfics, I can guarantee you will find very few female characters. But anyway, that's Village. I enjoyed it. You
Pretty
enjoyed
much
it. It was hard.
at parts and really easy at others.
I've been Raspian.
I've been
What are you going by now?
I've been a person.
Okay, that's good to know. And we will catch you guys next time.